Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Who are these people?
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Don't be rude.
Who are these people?
I'm sorry that was kind of loud, but
we'll do it live. Okay.
Welcome to another episode of Pro Wrestling Talk. That means I'm Andrew Rivera. That means this is Mrs.Witchy Perfect, and we are going to preview Backlash, which is next Saturday.
eBay. Okay, here we go.
September or May 9th. Literally next Saturday. So I was like, oh wow, is a pay-per-view that quick? It feels like
okay, so we won't be on next Saturday, but we'll be on the following Saturday, yes.
Yeah, we will be reviewing the Backlash then. So where they've set up Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu for the world title. They set up, and not officially announced yet, but I'm assuming we'll see Gunther versus Cody for the title too. After Gunther attacked Cody.
Are they going to retire Cody if he wins?
I don't know what their intention are with that, but yeah, I mean that's probably be the two main events. So that match, Cody and Gunther, has not been officially announced, but I'm assuming they'll announce it this coming week on SmackDown. So
no offense, I'd rather see CM Punk versus Cody.
Yeah, it seems like CM Punk is going away for a little vacation, but because he wasn't seen on SmackDown, I don't think he'll be on. He's not booked for the pay-per-view. So all right, so let's real quickly go over this, and then we'll talk about the releases because everyone is freaking out about the releases, especially of New Day. So let's see real quick.
Day sucks. New Day sucks.
They've been stagnant. They've been stagnant for years. I mean, it's like, I'm not surprised they were ultimately released, but we'll get to that later. All right, so they have 5 matches listed here, which is surprising. Usually they have 4, so they're gonna probably make some of these matches pretty short. Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman.
Okay, finally now we get, because he's healthy. So Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins gets to have his revenge on Braun Breaker. So here we go.
I would expect Seth Rollins to win unless they decide to make this feud longer and have Braun Breaker win and wait for Seth to get his revenge. So, but right now I do think that Seth is going to ultimately win. I don't know if they're going to elongate this feud any longer because it's supposed to end at WrestleMania. So, but since Braun Breaker was hurt, they didn't have the match, obviously. So
nobody came back at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he did come back at WrestleMania.
I mean, that's what they all wanted. That's what we all wanted. We all wanted to see, Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins and see Seth get his revenge. Well, we got it, but just a little late,
Yeah. All right, so the next match on this card, Io Sky versus Asuka in a singles match. Oh, Lord. They're continuing that feud.
Okay. I'm sorry, what was the match?
Io Sky versus Asuka.
Oh, come on. I thought Asuka was part of the releases. No, that's Kairi Sane.
No, that's Kairi Sane, the other girl. Yeah.
It's not. Come on. No one. This is going to be a go to the bathroom match. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's see. So I don't. Let's say this is gonna be probably a long-term feud. So I would guess Asuka's gonna win this based off that. I wouldn't expect. Io Sky
yeah, but they still have her in that pseudo lesbian angle, so probably Rhea Ripley will come out.
Maybe because they're all, even though Rhea Ripley's not booked for the show, at least as of now, so and there's no reason for her to be there. So we'll see what happens, but I don't think she'll be interfering in that match.
I hope you're right.
So let's get to this match. I can't believe they booked this, but we got Danhausen and a mystery partner versus The Miz and Kit Wilson.
Kit Wilson. Why does
he's the one. He's the one that talks about toxic masculinity.
Oh,
So
geez, Louise.
yeah,
Who are the other
well,
clowns?
down at Danhausen and a mystery partner versus the Miz and Kit Wilson.
Oh, come on, really? Danhausen. The only reason he has a job is because of CM Punk, and he's just the comedy relief. We're
Yeah,
going to go cursed and then like try to escape and all that WrestleMania. Oh my god.
that's true, but like I suspected, he's gotten massively over with the WWE audience. I mean, he is like no,
Guess if
he's
you
like,
like that kind of shit.
well, yeah, the WWE audience. I knew that they would because they're like the casual audience that like comedy like that. So that's how our truth got massively over because he does shit like this. So that's why Danhausen takes it a step further, obviously, with the cursing, but I mean, he curses people, but
But I mean, you have to admit, you're like that night one or was it night two? It was just awful. That I mean, he tried to do
I think it
this
was night
puff of
two.
smoke, and everyone still saw him. He runs under the ring. I'm just like, oh come on,
Yeah, that was
that
night
was not
two, I
good.
think, right before Roman Reigns and CM Punk, went to the ring.
Yeah, that was
So
not good.
yeah, Danhausen is going to win. I mean, they're not going to put over Miz, especially if he cursed both of them already. So yeah, that's going to be very uninteresting, and the audience is going to love it because they like that type of stuff in WWE. So let's see. Next, we got Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn, a rematch from WrestleMania for the U.S. title. Trick
Okay.
Williams is over. I mean, whether we like him or not doesn't really matter. I mean, those fans chant whip that trick every time he gets to the ring. So and
Anytime his music plays, it's like whoop that trick. I'm like, okay, I'm not on the bandwagon, but sure, okay.
mhm.
But yeah, I don't see. I think Sami Zayn's time has come and gone. So
Oh yeah, he's been
I don't.
he's
They're not going to make him champ. I don't know why they did that whole thing with fucking Killer Cross. He's like, oh well, Killer Cross is keeping me down and keeping me from the belt. Dude, they're not going to give you the belt. Okay, so just
yeah,
get
they
over this.
just I hated that because they beat him flat in the middle, and that was his last match before they just didn't re-sign him. So that was his just beat him flat in SummerSlam, and then he left shortly after that. So it was like, wow. I mean, you just let him go like he's just a jabroni. He was let's see. In the main event, I assume the main event is Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu for the world title. So this is probably gonna be the best match of the night, unless
Yeah,
Braun
but
Breaker pulls something out of his ass
bless you.
against Seth.
I
Thank you.
just don't see. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think they're gonna give Jacob Fatu this win.
Oh no, no doubt. No, I'm not saying they're gonna win. I'm just saying it's gonna be probably the best match of the night.
And now we're gonna have fucking 4 years of fucking Reigns, and who only works a couple of nights, and basically is gonna be the champ, and it's gonna be fucking boring. So here we go.
I don't think it's gonna be 4 years, but I get your point. He's gonna have a long title run, so it's like
Yeah,
it's probably be a year, maybe a little bit more, because I think they're grooming Obafemi to beat him for this belt. So it's
that
obvious,
would be
he's.
kind of awesome. But I think Jacob Fatu deserves a win. I mean, I like Jacob Fatu, I really
I
do.
do
But
too, but
they've kind of like I agree with Jim Cornette. They kind of took the werewolf and tamed him,
yeah,
so
that's
to
true
speak.
though. Yeah, that is true. He's not when he first debuted, they were hyping up the fact that he had a criminal record and he spent some time in prison, so they were kind of like hyping that up, and then that kind of been dropped shortly after. They didn't mention that again, but
I mean, they should have. He's a tough dude, no doubt about that. No one
mhm.
has ever said or questioned that. But I mean, he's a really tough dude. But they just totally like tamed him within, and now it's like he's. I get it where he feels like he made it because he was a part of WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Yes, he did do his wife and kids. Excuse me.
hmm
He has more than one. He has six, I
yeah,
think. And I agree with him that he definitely made a man of him. He did his wife and kids justice, but I mean, they literally tamed him. No, sorry.
yeah. That is true, but ultimately, Roman's gonna win this match, and it's. I right now this is not a stipulation, but I would suspect that Roman's gonna want Jacob to acknowledge him and kind of join
Yeah.
his Bloodline 2.0, which is what I'm calling it, the Bloodline 2.0, because they're kind of rehashing that again with the Usos. So right
What
now,
I'm
that's
really disappointed in though is that um they don't have Drew McIntyre, who is a
yeah.
big. I mean, he's a star. He was a star. Now he's just making commercials, and I don't know. They pushed him right back down the card, I guess.
I guess he's doing a movie now because he's been gone too after Jacob beat him at Mania. So yeah, so that's the Backlash
Maybe his movie
card.
started up again.
I guess yeah, but that's possible. That's the Backlash card. It's the pay per view after WrestleMania, so it's I don't expect much, but yeah. So right now the next one after Backlash is I think Night of Champions in Saudi. So they're going to Saudi, yes, even though there's a big war in Iran right now, and Iran's been bombing Saudi. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, that could be a disaster for the company if they bomb one of the Night of Champions event, which is a
I
possibility.
Yeah, but I don't think so. I honestly don't think so.
But I don't either. I'm just saying that's in the realm of possibility.
Hmm.
So let's see. That's the card. I mean, other than Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, that could be good if Seth Rollins. But I know Seth Rollins going to call this match, so it's not going to be good. I suspect. Just like the Gunther Seth Rollins match at WrestleMania wasn't that good. If Seth Rollins called that match, I could tell based on what Seth was doing. So he was the one calling that match. And I know Roman. Oh, I'm not sure you saw this on Raw, but Jacob Fatu gave Roman Reigns the Tongan Death Grip. You know that move that Fatu used to
Oh
do.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. I actually like that, and actually that was a badass move.
yeah. He just did this to Roman, and Roman sold it like death. So I like the way he
Yeah,
sold it, and I like Jacob doing that. That'd probably be his finish or one of his finishes, I guess. You know, when he
kind of
whips
like
out the
what
Tongan.
well, it was Haku, but Meng. He was called
Yeah,
Meng in WCW, but
yeah,
yeah, Haku. Oh my god, like he was a tough
yeah.
son of a bitch. You know,
Oh yeah,
I
we
would like
could.
to see Jacob Fatu kind of mimic him because he was a really tough
Yeah,
guy. He was a bad dude. You didn't want to fuck with
yeah.
him.
He did. He gave Roman. Roman was saying he's not ready to be his opponent. He's not ready to be champion. And if I give you this match, this is nepotism, basically. And that's when he whipped out the Tongan Death Grip, and Roman sold it like death. So it was really good. Very well done that segment on Raw.
See, that's what. But they have to make. They have to let Roman win because I mean, like you said, if he defends it and loses it on his first defense, then he's a bitch, I
Very.
guess.
Yeah, he had a 3.5 year title run, and then his next run he's gonna lose it in the first match. He's not gonna lose. And then
Yeah,
maybe won't beat Jacob flat. Maybe there'll be some sort of
like
controversial
the
finish.
Usos come out.
Yeah, something like that. Or
Yeah.
they'll do disqualification where Roman gets himself disqualified, or something like that. Or
I don't
Jacob.
know. They didn't try. They didn't do anything about that when they should have disqualified CM Punk, or actually they should have disqualified Roman Reigns because he hit Punk with the stairs.
Yeah,
That's an automatic disqualification in my book, but the referee let it go.
they go throw it out. Disqualification. It's way too much bloodline on Raw and SmackDown. Of course, I mean when
Yeah,
the
I'm tired
WWE
of that.
had when the Bloodline had their original run, they were all over Raw and SmackDown for years. So they dominated television, and now we're gonna probably get that again. And let's see
I don't know if
here.
they're blaming anybody. I don't want to see Roman Reigns have it for 3.5 years. Okay,
This
that's too
is
long for me. That was too
this,
long for me with the other championship.
yeah. I forgot the build of Trick Williams and Sami Zayn is justice for gingerbread.
Huh?
Justice for gingerbread man because Sammy wore the gingerbread man right before their match at Mania. So that's
Okay.
the part of the build too.
I don't get it, but that's okay. I just don't like Sami Zayn. There's just something I don't like about Sami Zayn. He was over with the crowd, and now the crowd is booing him, and rightfully so. They're turning him heel. So
Yeah.
again, it's like the Killer Cross thing, and it's coming back to haunt Sammy. But they got rid of, Karrion
Yeah.
Cross.
So yeah. So he the whole point of that feud, if you remember, that was to turn Sammy heel, and he refused to turn heel, and they just beat Karrion flat in the middle, and then he just left right after. And looks
Right.
like his prediction came true, but long
Right.
after he left. So
And
or
he's
he got let
champion
go,
in an
whatever.
indie circuit right now, and I'm glad. I'm glad that Kevin's getting that
Yeah.
exposure. But I mean, bring him back. People want him back in the WWE, and how long do we have to wait for someone like that to come back? You know, Paul Heyman said it's almost like the Stone Cold thing. You know, he's getting a grassroots following,
Yeah.
but I mean, nothing has been said, nothing has been done. They won't talk to him. I mean,
Yeah, I don't.
as far as I know, Tony Khan hasn't called him. He said Tony Khan wouldn't call him, I guess, or something
Here's
to
the
that
thing,
effect.
Tony. I don't think Tony would be interested in him because look at his size. You know, he really likes the smaller, more athletic guys, and to make them champion, even though they're 150 pounds soaking wet. Like Darby Allin just won the world title and buried MJF a couple weeks ago. So, number one contender for the AEW world title is Brody King, the fuck ice guy, which is what he's known for basically.
Oh,
Um,
Dougie.
so that's Backlash. It's going to be mostly terrible, but we'll review it next or in a couple of
But we will
weeks on
stomach
the
through it
show.
somehow.
It's good.
We will stomach
All
through
right.
it somehow. I'll be
So-
probably in the bathroom most of the time. Okay.
So we got releases, more releases after I think we talked about some releases last week too on the show. Now we have more releases. The more famous one is the New Day. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods are gone from WWE after Kofi was there for 18 years and Xavier was there for 14 years. I mean, they had
I mean,
really long
they've
runs.
become almost irrelevant. I don't see what the big deal is. I mean,
Yeah,
they
they
were
basically
they even on TV for like a month and a half, 2 weeks?
they hung around kind of, backstage, and they were just there, and they weren't really doing much on TV. They weren't doing anything with them. So they were just there, and occasionally they had like an on-screen appearance. I think they appeared with Danhausen at one point. So yeah, they just had him doing shit like that backstage. And apparently, what the story is, both of these guys are making over $1 million a year. I'm like, they're making over $1 million a year, and they're doing nothing with them. So eventually, the story is TKO asked him to restructure their contract, so take less money. In other words.
Right.
And they both refused, and TKO gave them their release. So now they're both gone. So basically, it's their fault because TKO, they wanted to keep him, but they want to keep him for less money. So the question is, how much is that less money? Did they lowball them, or did they offer him 800,000 or 750 each, and they both said no? Because 750 is not really a lowball; it's a little less than what they're making.
Right.
So it's interesting whether I would like to find out whether they lowball them or not. Because if they lowball them, let's say offer 450, that's a lowball and that's disrespectful. But if they offered 750 to 8, maybe it's like that's not disrespectful. That's just saving a couple $100,000, each of them. But immediately everybody freaks out on the internet and on Twitter. It's like Kofi Kingston and they should have been released and they're gonna go to AEW and have great matches with the Young Bucks. Yay! Yeah. That's literally what they're so excited about Kofi and the other Xavier going to AEW. First of all, there's no evidence they're going to AEW. I mean, they just got let go. And they have to wait until late August before they can even talk
Yeah,
to
there's
AEW.
a non-compete clause, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's 90-day non-compete, so they can't talk to AEW until like August. So, yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. And they also, who else did they release? They released some other guys too, but everybody's focusing on the New Day.
I mean, like I said, I'm not really upset about it because, again, I didn't like New Day, first of all. Second of all, I mean, does anyone really give a fuck? I mean, they weren't even on TV, but everyone's up in arms about it.
No,
I guess I don't get it.
TV. Okay. So look at, I'm not sure you've seen this. Whoops. This guy literally claimed Kofi Kingston matters more to pro wrestling than Hulk Hogan ever did. I'm like,
in what century?
Yeah, I don't know what this. I swear, this is a real tweet because I saw it. I saw it earlier, and I just didn't. You know, I didn't bookmark it. And now somebody made a graphic out of this immediately. It's like Kofi
I
Kingston matters more to pro wrestling than Hulk Hogan ever did. I don't know.
how Hogan was a hero for many young people for many, many years, starting in 84 to like 90, whatever, 94. For fuck's sake, he took Hulkamania and made himself a heel, and he still was relevant.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston was never as big as Hulk Hogan, not in a million years. So I don't know what kind of like shit that this person is on and why they're not sharing. But I mean, you got to be a special kind of stupid to say that.
Yeah. Because Kofi Kingston
And
was
I don't even like
briefly,
Hulk Hogan. Okay, I was not
yeah.
a Hulkamaniac. Okay, I was
Mhm.
Mr. Perfect all the way. But for fuck's sake, you cannot say this stupid, dumb fucking shit. What has Tony, whatever the fuck his name is, Kingston, what has Kingston actually gone around the world and actually meant? Ask people in Europe who Kofi Kingston is. They probably can't tell you. But ask them who Hulk Hogan is, and I bet you they can tell you. So
Yeah.
that's just a fucking stupid thing to say, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, he's the Kofi. Only reason why Kofi won the WWE title WrestleMania was because of Bryan Danielson. Because Bryan Danielson was WWE champion, and Vince wanted him to keep the belt. He wanted to beat Kofi, but he's like, "No, I'm dropping it to Kofi because he deserves this." I'm like, he doesn't deserve to be WWE champion. I mean, it's like, look at him. He's not WWE champion material. And no, it's not because he's black. Again, I'm sure another thing people say. You don't want to
Oh
be
yeah,
champion
we're
because
we're
you hate
so
black people.
racist. No, the thing is, Kofi King. How long was he champion? He wasn't champion for as long as
4 or 5
Hogan
months.
was.
4 or 5 months before
Yeah.
it's 4 or 5 months before. No, I think 6 before Brock came back and just beat him flat in 3 seconds.
So who
So he
the
was
fuck is this person to even say? And again, I'm not sticking up for Hulk Hogan. I don't like Hulk Hogan. I didn't. I watched James Romero review the Hulk Hogan documentary, and I'm glad I fucking missed it. So I'm not
Cornette
exactly.
did too.
Yeah, Cornette did too. And
He
the
did an
thing is,
hour, nearly an hour of
I mean,
reviewing
so
it.
so did James Romero, and
He
I'm
went
just
through
like,
he went through every single line and lie of Hogan. I mean,
right.
so Jim Cornette had his thumbnail that said the real timeline and Hulk Hogan's timeline. Like his version
Right.
of what happened during his wrestling career. And it was like, yeah, most of that's total bullshit. And
Well,
they went over everything.
Well, the problem is like, and again, I'm not sticking up for Hogan. I never liked Hogan. I liked him in the NWO, and that's about it because I like the NWO. I just like the NWO. But for fuck's sake, Kofi Kingston, I would love to see him try to do what Hulk Hogan did. I mean, Hulk Hogan was what? Sergeant Slaughter made a joke and said he was 6'2" in his stocking feet. But he probably had lifts on his boots, which made him 6'7", right?
He was 6'7". Yeah, he was billed as
6'7",
6'7".
300,
Yeah.
300 something pounds.
Yeah.
If Kofi Kingston can get, the training and the prayers and the bullshit like that, I mean, for fuck's sake, is this person living in reality, or do they live in their own fantasy fucking world where somehow Kofi Kingston is the shit and Hulk Hogan is down here? What the fuck are you talking about? Either you were never born in the 80s and 90s and you never looked back into history and looked to see. Hogan was the biggest thing since sliced bread. Kofi Kingston is nothing but a fucking punk who could not even lace up Hulk Hogan's boots. He couldn't lace up Curt Hennig's either.
So they released also JC Mateo and Tangaloa, who was a part of Solo's group. So
I mean, I thought they were going to break that out. It was ridiculous. They looked like fucking pandas dressed up.
They were a Timu.
That's what Jim Cornette said.
Yeah, they were a Timu bloodline, kind of rip off of Roman did with the Usos and stuff. So terrible. It was horrible TV.
They didn't even like wrestle, did they? They just kind of would come in like the NWO would just kind of beat up guys.
Yeah, and they were tag team champions briefly until the Wyatts beat them for it. They also released the Wyatts, by the way, last week. So yeah, so they released Tangaloa and JC Mateo, which I don't. Again, all these releases don't matter. All of a sudden, the IWC loves all 4 of these guys. Same thing what happened with the Wyatts and everybody's released last week. all of a sudden they love these guys when WWE fires them, even though before they couldn't even give a shit about them, never mentioned them, never said anything about them. So this is insane. This is from earlier in the week. Triple H has signed a new multi-year contract to continue as chief content officer or booker. So he's
I don't
staying
know
with
how much
WWE.
of it he's booking.
Yeah,
Most of it's shit.
according to Mark Shapiro and Ari Emanuel, they're the ones that have final say over the product. But but they claim, oh, we rarely use that. We don't use that veto power. It's like,
Oh,
you did for
bullshit.
WrestleMania. You did for
You look at
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, that's your biggest example. The best match on that fucking card to keep those fans interested was fucking Roman Reigns and CM Punk. The rest of it was just shit. Literally, we were shitting on it the whole time.
Kevin says, for me, it's time to move on from nostalgia and focus on the future talent. Oh, I totally agree. I mean, it is time. That's why a lot of these they're releasing a lot of the older talent because they make a lot of money. And meanwhile, they're bringing up all this talent from NXT who's making $250,000 probably, and it's like, well, it's cheaper, and these guys are over, so let's just cut all the older fat talent, not fat, but older talent. So
who isn't really in the main events? They're barely on TV. I mean, again, that they went away from Big E. Was his name Big E?
Yeah, he
the New
broke
Day,
his neck, and he broke
and
his
they
neck
moved
and
away
never came
from
back.
him, and then they just kind of went, and they weren't on TV. That whole New Day sucks because Big E was supposed to be in their talent roster, and he became a commentator because he broke his freaking neck. Who broke his neck? I think wasn't it somebody?
Who was it? It was some. It was what's his face? I think he got fired too. I forget his name right now. He's like Irish dude. He was like this big, muscled up freak. He's like Irish.
Sheamus?
No, not him. He was I don't remember his name right now, but he was just a big muscled up freak. He did like a release German suplex on the outside of the ring, and Big E landed right on his head, on top of his head, and broke his neck. I'm like, why are you doing a release German suplex on the outside of the ring? You don't need to do that.
Even Chris Benoit could get this right. He would do a German suplex, and I mean, even William Regal said you can still crack your neck doing that, even if he did it right. And he did do it right, and he still screwed up his neck. So I mean,
and he never came back. Now
without
Big
E, I don't think that New Day was going to survive. But living in a fantasy world where somehow Kofi Kingston is better than Hulk Hogan, and again, I don't even like Hulk Hogan, but that's just a stupid thing to say.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And then when they turned him heel on Big E, I was like, okay, they're gonna do something with him. They did nothing with them. They stagnated in the main roster as heels.
Pushed them right back down the card.
Yeah. So it just didn't work. It just didn't work. It's ridiculous. So they were terrible heels, especially Kofi, because he's never worked heel. That was the first time he ever worked heel in his career, and it wasn't good. And they weren't really over. So eventually,
everyone kept saying New Day sucks, but I mean that's it.
They're making over $1 million a year, both of them. So it was like TKO was like they wanted to keep him, so let's just restructure, have them make a little less. It's basically on their place in the card. So they're making they wanted to make base what they were on the card, and they refused. They wanted that $1 million a year. So you know what? If you want 7 figures, go to Tony Khan. He'll give it to you. He's a money mark.
Well, if you want to ruin your bodies too, gentlemen, have fun with Tony Khan. Make sure you suck his dick good. But I mean, what I'm getting at here is you're not. If you want to ruin your body and go through glass and do what Darby Allin fucking does, I hope you don't cripple yourself, but have a good time, boys.
When they go to Tony Khan, they might as well say this, like
1 billion, gajillion, fifillion, million. Yeah.
Is that
Dr. Evil?
Okay, it's Dr. Evil, yeah.
Yeah.
From Austin.
They might as well say that. Yeah. They might as well say that because Tony would give it to them because he's such a mark. So let's see. So those are releases. Backlash. It's only 8:30. I haven't seen the Hogan documentary yet,
I don't
so
want to see it.
I can't really talk about it because I've not seen it. But
Basically, it's everything terrible you could have thought about Linda and Hogan. Back in the 90s, or in the 80s and the early 90s, Linda and Terry were in love, and he was a great father. And then the late 90s happened, and 2000s, and he was a shitty father. So
yeah,
there, I summed it up in like a couple of seconds.
Hulk, that was his final interview before his death, so that's why they're kind of making a
And
big
he
deal
looked
out of it.
awful. He looked awful. He didn't look right. He looked like Randy Savage before Randy Savage had that accident.
Yeah, it was brutal. I mean, Hulk was in a lot of pain, and this is right before his neck surgery, which ultimately killed him. So this is like what? It was his eighth neck surgery. I mean, it was like, I understand. Look, his new wife at least, was like, we shouldn't have done that last neck surgery. We should have put it, like, Terry shouldn't have done it. So now after his death, he's like, oh yeah, Terry shouldn't have done it. I mean, it was too risky. And
Well, Brooke Hogan, she cleared herself out from the family. She took herself out of the will willingly.
Yeah.
So she's not in his will. She wasn't even really in that documentary, I don't think. But
I think she did a little bit. She was kind of in there, but not really.
But not really. But she wanted to be in it full blown, and they wouldn't let her do it because she's the one who wrote herself out of that family. She said it was because of the new wife. I think it's because she just didn't agree with Hawk anymore.
Yeah, she literally, like, I remember her saying she wrote like a letter to her parents, basically saying that she was done with both of them, with all the shit they put her through over the years. Yeah.
Well, they made Liz look like the gold digger she was. Basically, I don't know what happened, if this was true or not, but from what it was said is when they did Hogan Knows Best, Linda threw a $1 million check at Hulk and said, "This ain't enough." So, okay, so you're a fucking gold digger and a fucking little bitch who literally $1 million. You never see my fucking ass disagree with anything. I'd be like, yes, I'll suck your dick. I'll do whatever you want me to do. $1 million fucking dollars. And that's not enough for you. Jesus.
I wonder how much Hogan and Terry made per episode. I mean, he must have made a lot because it lasted 3 or 4 seasons, that show.
I only saw one episode and I hated it. It was awful. Brooke went to the beach and was hanging out with this guy, and Hogan flipped out. You know how many girls get hurt on the beach? Oh, for fuck's sake, she's not fucking 5 years old.
So Hulk was still treating her like like a little girl.
She was 18, I think.
Yeah.
I think she was 18.
Something like that.
Treating her like she's 5.
During that, Hulk was back in WWE during that filming too. So they filmed a lot backstage for the reality show. So they even filmed Hulk's last match, released backstage before his match with Randy Orton in WWE.
Right.
Or no, it was Shawn Michaels, I think. His last match was to Shawn Michaels. Because Hulk would leave right after that. Because he had a money dispute with Vince again. So anyways, there was the story behind that. Was supposed to be a 3-match series, Hulk and Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels was supposed to win one match. He's supposed to go over once of Hogan. Of course, all of a sudden, here comes Hogan claiming his back was bad. No one could do one match, and he had to win the match. So, of course, that pissed off Shawn Michaels to no end because he wouldn't get his win back from Hogan.
Right. He wouldn't do a job, and Hogan, cried wolf again.
Yeah, with his back. Yeah.
Well, and the thing was, it was funny when Hogan went back to WWE. They say in this documentary, according to James Romero, please check him out. I think he did a great job reviewing this. He actually watched it. I didn't. I just wanted to watch the review and see how it was good, good or bad it was. And I'm glad I'm not gonna venture out to see it. So, but anyway, he said that this late when he went back, Vince McMahon fell in love with him again. And they probably exchanged letters again. Oh, I like the one line. He said that they actually did an interview with Linda McMahon. And Linda McMahon said, wow, okay. So she went in, bought Hawk a couple of drinks, and they went back to the house. I guess I don't know what how. Didn't he live with Vince?
At the time, Linda still lived with Vince, so they
Okay,
must have
so
gone back
him
to
and
the.
Linda did the nasty, and James makes a joke like, "I guess she wanted to be fucked by a giant." I went, "Oh my god, ew, come
Ter-
on." Ah.
So
Well, talk about
that
an
was
open marriage. Linda did it to Vince. Vince did it to Linda. So
allegedly, yeah. So it was one of those things where Hulk, allegedly at least, that was surprising. I'm not sure how true that is. I mean, that's that's the
apparently
first time
Linda
I've
said
heard
it.
that. Oh.
Apparently Linda said it. I'm
Linda
like,
and Vince
ew.
have been Linda and Vince have been separated for years now. So even though they're still
Yeah,
legally
but this was
married,
back
but
in the 80s, I think. Like,
yeah, it had to
and something
be.
about like Hawk was going to break up with Linda, but then he went and proposed to her or something.
Yeah, I guess
Allegedly, but I'm
because she
telling
got.
you,
Mhm.
from James. He literally said it came out of Linda's mouth. Like all you saw was like a reenactment of the two people going in the room and then Hawk coming out butt ass naked.
Wow,
And
that's a
James makes the joke,
revelation
well, I
there.
guess she wanted to be fucked by a giant. Ooh, ooh.
That's a revelation there, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean that was Hulk's final interview. We have classic Hulk Hogan. I mean, just putting himself in the middle of everything and just exaggerating or straight up making up what happened throughout his career. He also talked about WrestleMania 9. I did see that at clip with him and Bret Hart. And Hulk was talking about, I thought that Bret was a team player. I didn't know that he was so like a mark for himself. I'm like, yeah, that a pot meat kettle, Hulk. Like seriously, if Bret was a mark for himself, so was you. So when I
Oh my
saw that
god.
part,
Well,
when I
and
s-
they had that thing where the comeback from Brett was like, fuck you.
yeah, fuck
Just
you.
Brett saying fuck
And
you.
and he took his like I think it was like wine. He's like or some kind of alcohol. So when I heard that part, I was like,
Well, and like I said, if you hear reviews about it, go look at the official Jim Cornette YouTube and James Romero Romero channel YouTube channels. He does like almost an hour worth of the Hogan documentary,
yeah.
and
Hmm.
he explains it very eloquently. Ew, Vince's evil mustache. That's disgusting. But I just wanted to say really quickly, and I didn't see this till today. James Romero had done a something on Diana. I guess Diana Hart had come out and was defending her ex-husband Davy Boy, that he wasn't a drug addict, and Brett was all up on himself in '92. And she shows this some kind of doctor's note or something
Hmm.
that Davy Boy was hospitalized for his knee, that he had some kind of flesh eating thing in his knee. And I'm like, wouldn't that
Um,
jeopardize the '92 SummerSlam main event?
he had necrotizing fasciitis, which is that flesh-eating bacteria, allegedly. I mean, according to his wife or his widow.
Yeah, his ex-wife.
Yeah, or yeah.
I mean, he left her for another woman. For fuck's sake.
Hmm. Well, I mean, she's still defending him, even though because Brett did tell the story about how Davy Boy was just like wasted on drugs, like
In her own book. In
slam.
her own book. He brought up her own book. Diana's own book. She's like, oh, why did I marry him? Because he was nothing but a crackhead who used to spike my drinks, knock me out, and RAPE me.
Yeah,
Huh? And she's
and
like, I
now,
don't know why I married him, because he came to her a week. This is her words, not mine. He came to her a week before the wedding and said, I got some other girl pregnant. Oh, then why are you marrying me? Bye.
yeah,
Go stick your dick in
she,
someone else.
she still married him. I
She
mean,
still married him.
Davy. Yeah, so according to Brett, Davy was like wasted on drugs. He couldn't get him on the phone for the entire summer before their
Right. It
SummerSlam
was
match. He
him,
couldn't.
and he had been out with Jim Neidhart, and they had been
Mhm.
doing crack.
Yeah,
And she's
he,
like, oh no, that didn't happen. He had that knee thing that they went to the ER for. okay, you
Mhm.
have the note there, but again, if he really had this issue, he was only supposed to stay off his knee for 3 days. They gave him
Yeah.
Percocet, whatever. Well, and
Mhm.
a lot of athletes got messed up on Percocet. But anyway, but I don't understand. I'm confused. Brett talks about Davy Boy with such affection. I can't believe Diana. I think Diana has bipolar disorder or amnesia or something, or she has some kind of
Yeah.
something. Because
Because
you said
Brett
in
did
your own book
say
that you shouldn't have married him.
Brett did say on talking about the SummerSlam match that Davey Boy was wasted on drugs most of that summer, but he did
He
come out
made
and
the
had a great.
match. He said, "I
Yeah,
have the match all drawn out. All you
yeah.
have to do is just do the spots, and I'll guide you through." I don't know how
Mhm.
that's saying that he was, a bad person. No, Brett.
No, it's not
Like I
saying he's a
said, Brett
bad
has
person.
always
Yeah,
talked about Davey with such affection. I
yeah.
don't, I don't see it.
No, Brett wouldn't say Davey Boy is a bad person. He's just that he was wasted on drugs. I couldn't get him on the phone most of the summer to tell him the match that I had planned. So it's like, look, just follow me. I'll call the match, and just do what I tell you to do. It'd be great. Which it
And
was,
they had a great
which is
match,
amazing.
no
That's a
matter
great
what.
match. Yeah, yeah.
So I don't. I'm kind of confused. Where I think she either has Alzheimer's or she has some kind of dementia or something. But she put her own ex-husband down in her own book.
And now she's turning around and saying, "No, he wasn't on drugs in that summer. He had necrotriding fasciitis, which is that flesh-eating bacteria.
Yeah,
But that could kill you. I mean, that'd be a lot more than just 3 days off your knee. I mean, that you need like a round of multiple rounds of antibiotics.
yeah,
Depending on the situation, you might need surgery to take out the actual flesh-eating the bacteria. So
yeah, and not Percocet. Why
yeah,
would?
no,
Because
that
it
makes
says
no
on the
sense.
thing, that he was given Percocet and told to stay off the knee for 3 days. I don't. If you have some kind of flesh-eating disease, you're going to need more than Percocet.
Yeah, in 3 days off your knee. Yeah, there's no way. I don't buy that story for a second. I don't know why she said that story. Like, I really don't. I guess she
I
feels a
mean,
need to
I
defend
don't.
her husband, her ex.
I
I don't
don't
know.
know these people personally, but just the way they were talking. I mean, again, Brett has never once said that Davy Boy was bad or a drug addict. I
Mhm.
mean, he was into drugs, and then she was like, "Well, he didn't do drugs," but everybody remembers before 1990, the Survivor Series in 1992. This is why Kurt turned babyface because the Ultimate Warrior and Davey both got popped for doing human growth hormones. That is a fact. I'm sorry that hurts your feelings, Diana, but that is a fact. That is one of the reasons why they turned Kurt Hennig in the first place to babyface.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, damn. I gotta clip this out too. And Brett just saying "fuck you." It's just perfect.
He just goes, "Fuck you," and then that was so great. But no, I'm
For
like,
now, but
I mean, I feel bad for his sister because I don't know what kind. Like, does she have dementia or something? Because I mean, to do
I
that to
don't
your
know.
own brother, I love my brother. I would never do that to
Mhm.
him. I would never say, "Oh, go fuck yourself." My ex-husband is this and that. Well, I understand she may still care for Davy, but I mean, Davy's not with us.
Yeah,
One, two, he left you for another woman. For fuck's sake. I mean, how I get it that you guys. I mean, even when Brett talked about, Diana was holding a picture of Davy and wouldn't stop looking at it. It's not like, oh well, she had the hots for him and he was bunking anything that moved with tits and a pussy. That's not what
yeah,
happened. That's not what happened. Brett talked about it like it was a love story made for love stories. He even talked
yeah.
about their wedding in Hart House, and it was such a romantic time. So I can't believe that Diana
Yeah.
would turn around and like smack her own brother in the face
It,
and say "fuck you."
It must have been she's looking for attention for some reason, so that would kind of get her attention, which is why she did it. But well,
And
the
I
whole
don't even
story,
really. I wasn't much for Bret Hart, not back then. I mean, I respect him
yeah,
now because he deserves respect. But I mean, for fuck's sake, your own brother.
yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. So the story behind the WrestleMania 9 is Brett didn't know that Hulk's getting the belt until that night when he showed up at the building. It's supposed to be him and Yokozuna, and I'm not sure. And maybe Yoko's. I don't know who's supposed to win. I think Brett thought he was going to go over, but But anyways, he saw Hulk in the building and he's, oh hey Terry, and he did this and Terry wouldn't shake his hand
Wouldn't
back.
shake his
He just
hand,
ignored
right?
them. Yeah.
And Hogan made up some kind of bullshit like, "Oh, I was high at the time.
I must have been high or
I
drunk.
must have been
I
high
wouldn't
or
do that.
something."
I
No,
wouldn't do
Hogan,
that
you're
to
just
Brett.
a bastard. You're just a piece of shit.
Yeah. And Brett realized, like, oh, he sees me as a threat because I have the WWF title, and so he wants it, so he sees me as a threat, so he won't. Before Brett was just a tag team guy. Him and Hulk were like close, best friends. But as soon as Brett got to the top of the card, Hulk
Well, and
yeah, he
people were
saw him as
tired
a
of
threat.
Hogan.
Yeah,
Maybe not
by
then, because I
93.
mean, he had gone away. I mean,
Yeah.
how can we miss you if you don't go away? So he went away for a little bit, excuse me. And then he came back and people, I guess, embraced him for a little bit, but then they got tired of him.
Yeah, pretty quickly after that because Hulk won. So the story was, Brett Hulk was wrestling Money Inc. for the tag titles, him and Brutus, and Money Inc. won or lost by disqualification. So Hulk even won that match. He won 2 matches that night, and he insisted on him winning the WWF title that night. I was like, okay. So Brett was like, what? Hulk's winning the belt? How? Like, how is he going to even do this? And that's when Vince laid it out. It's like, oh, Yoko's going to beat you. Fuji's going to throw the salts, and Yoko's going to beat you. And then Hulk's going to come out to be the hero and, defend you and protect you. And then you're going to tell Hulk to go win the title because Fuji challenged him to a match right there. And, of course, Hulk wins in like a minute. And just they celebrate and become Hulk's a champion and blah blah blah. That was it. And Brett was furious. It's like, that's what we're doing. The fuck we're doing. Oh, all right. I'm not. This is bullshit.
And see, I talked about this on my show too. There's very little that Kurt would actually say no to. I mean, it would have to really be against his morals to do that. I mean, if you remember correctly, the whole he turns again. He joins the Four Horsemen just to turn on them 2 weeks later, which made no fucking sense whatsoever. But that was a Eric Bischoff special, and he said, "All right, fine, I guess I'll do it," even though it didn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. Kurt was great at country music. He was good at songwriting and stuff, and I know he didn't write the song that they did, but I mean, he was good at songwriting and he was good at singing and he was good at, doing the rap is crap thing. And guess who couldn't follow it? A guy with blonde hair said, I can't do that. That doesn't work for me, brother. Actually, he said, I can't follow that.
Yeah, that's what he said. But basically, it was the whole, it doesn't work for me, brother. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, and he was jealous of Kurt again. Right. And he literally was jealous of Kurt again. Excuse me, not Brett. And again, he screwed Kurt right out of it. Just like his push that he was supposed to have in '89.
Yeah, that whole story was like one of the most egregious ones. I mean, Kurt would have had such great matches with Hulk that it would have put him over stronger, but he just was like, I'm not sure is Kurt supposed to get the title, and that's what Hogan like objected to, or was maybe that was what, because I think Hulk would be smart enough to know, hey, Kurt can give me great matches and put me over strong, so I'm gonna work with him definitely. But he nixed it. As like, was Kurt
because he knew that Kurt was better than him. And he knew that Kurt could go the distance with him, just like he did with Nick Bockwinkel in the AWA. If Kurt can hang with Nick Bockwinkel, who was one of the greatest wrestlers, they say, to ever grace the silver screen with, even Bobby Heenan said he was great. I mean, and Nick was a great wrestler. He wasn't perfect, but he was great. Okay. Again, and the whole thing with Bret Hart and stuff, him and Bret could have, if they had given Bret the push, and they finally did in '91 when he won the belt from Kurt, the Intercontinental belt.
Yeah, the Intercontinental.
They could have, escalated them both. They could have escalated both Kurt and Bret and them could have spent the rest of '91 and most of '92 giving back and forth between the WWF belts. I don't see. I mean, other than Kurt had a back injury. Yes, he did have a back injury.
Yeah.
He stayed out for over a year, and because Davey Boy and Warrior got, popped with human growth hormones, it could have happened like that. But here we have again where Hogan saw Kurt as a threat, and much like Bret Hart, and he just nixed it, and so no one got over it.
Yeah. So I thought I'd play this before Alex comes on. It's Cornette's podcast, and apparently Dave Meltzer said Hogan wasn't number one wrestler, and Forrest Cornette kind of like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who, if it's not Hogan, who's number one? And Jim Cornette doesn't like Hogan. I mean, just make that clear. Even he's like,
I don't like Hogan, and I still thought he was, he was a main event wrestler. Kofi Kingston, nowhere near it.
No, it's just absurd. Meltzer said
Meltzer says a lot of stuff, but he also sucks Tony Khan's dick. That's why he gives people in AEW 6 and 7 stars, while he gives people in WWE 1 and 2.
Yeah, it makes no sense. So yeah, this is Meltzer or Jim Cornette responding to Meltzer saying Hogan wasn't the greatest wrestler or number one or didn't do much with pro wrestling. It's a joke. I mean, you don't have to be a fan of Hogan. You don't have to like him, whatever, but you have to acknowledge what he did for wrestling. I mean, if it wasn't for him, wrestling wouldn't be where it's at today.
I don't even like Ric Flair, but I still think Ric Flair made NWA WCW what it is today. Or, well, I mean, what it was then.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what I mean. He made that eventually WCW, but I mean, he made that territory, and he made WCW what it was.
Yeah.
But WWE, he sucked in WWE. I didn't think he should deserve the title or anything, and he didn't really bring much prestige to the belt. So
Vince promised Flair the belt, so that's why he came in.
Because he was a mark for him. He loved
and he also Rick also hated Jim Herd, who didn't hate Jim Herd at the time. That's why he came to WWF, and Vince promised him the belt, which he did. He did give him the belt. So.
Well, and like I said, but I don't like Ric Flair. I don't like his comments that he made recently, and he can go fuck himself. But I mean, the thing I was trying to get at is, even though I don't like Flair, he did a lot for the sport of the NWA WCW. Yes, but he didn't do anything for WWE.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk
Hulk
about
did a lot for WWE.
Yeah, he did. Hulk ran hard.
Otherwise, it's just you are literally just sucking the dick of Tony Khan at this point.
Yeah, Hulk ran hard for over 10 years and made WWF what it was, and he made pro wrestling. I mean, he put pro wrestling on the mainstream map in a way that wasn't before throughout the territories. So he did, no matter you like him or hate him. Yeah, no matter you like him or hate him, that's what Hulk did.
All over the Hulkster. Although the debate now is raging. Uncle Dave has inflamed a lot of people on the interwebs. But I say, well, actually, no, Hulk wasn't the greatest of all or the most mainstream of all time because there was Ricky Dozan and there was that blah, blah, blah. And Uncle Dave always knows how to pick his spots, and there's merits to all these arguments, right? Londos was considered more of a national sporting hero in the United States on a mainstream level than Hogan was, and drew more fans to see him and dominated the business for
is this like a Tom
all those
McGee
years
kind of thing?
during the Depression,
they thought he was going to be Hogan.
Completely different.
Oh yeah, I mean, to this day, the story was Tom McGee. The whole story was Brett. Brett got him over. He's like,
Brett made him what he was.
Yeah, Tom McGee couldn't wrestle. He couldn't do anything. He's a great athlete.
For someone else, he looked like the shits.
Yeah, I mean, he was a great athlete, and Brett knew he could.
But nobody even knows who that dude is. That's the funny part. Everyone knows who Bret the Hitman Hart is. Everyone knows who Hulk Hogan is. Nobody gives a fuck about that Ricky who was the. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Anyways, Brett, look, I'm gonna get you a job. You're gonna do what I tell you to do. You have a great match, and Vince and Pat Patterson, whoever was the contingent back in those days, they're gonna hire you. And you're gonna make a lot of money. So that's basically what happened. Tom made a lot of money, but he couldn't wrestle. Once he worked with somebody else, they realized, oh shit, this guy can't go.
Yeah, this guy can't go. It was just Brett making him look good. Same with Kurt. When Kurt was with Hogan, he made Hogan look like $1 million, but then everyone was tired of Hogan anyway by then. Because he started with, with the Warrior, people didn't like the Warrior. They were getting tired of the Warrior again. And then by 91, 92, they were sick of Hogan too. Because, they didn't have those people.
You can see that in Survivor Series, his match with Undertaker. When Undertaker beat him, the fans like pop like a baby face pop.
Yeah.
One.
They turned
I mean,
the Undertaker babyface. That's why they turned the Undertaker babyface.
Yeah, because when he beat Flair, when he beat Hogan for that belt, Flair did interfere. Remember that finish? He put the chair there and, an Undertaker tombstone Hogan on the chair. The whole, you got me, brother. Which was a lie. Taker like protected the hell out of Hulk, and he still
he didn't even
you
touch
got
that.
me, brother.
Didn't even touch that chair.
And Hulk sold it like death. He laid there forever after Taker left. He just laid there and laid there and laid there, and everybody was surrounding him, and it was like,
Hulk no offense, but I like the Piper promo afterwards. Man, he called everything under the sun. He called Ric Flair cousin it. I'm like, fuck Piper. Jesus Christ. He really laid into him. He's like legitimately almost pissed, But people were sick of Hogan by then. So, the whole thing, because they pushed Kurt back down the card, and then Kurt got hurt, of course. He hurt his back. And, so whatever they tried to do with Hogan just kind of floundered,
By the early 90s, Vince wanted to move on, so he kind of elevated the Warrior. But the Warrior wasn't going to last. He was psychotic.
Especially after Rick Rude left.
Yeah, he was totally psychotic, and he couldn't work with him. And the Warrior, that whole story when the Warrior kind of like held up Vince for like more money, and he wanted Hulk's contract, and he wanted all the perks that Hulk had, and he wasn't going to appear at SummerSlam if he didn't get that. So Vince temporarily gave in. Oh, yeah, you're going to get everything. And then as soon as the match was over, he gave him his release papers and fired him. Yeah. So
that Jim Hellwig only blamed Hogan for that. That whole thing of how the Ultimate Warrior went down, was high and then, lost his standing with Vince. Mm-hmm. And he only blamed Hulk Hogan for that. He went on a 2 or 3 hour tirade on Hogan. Not on anyone else, Hogan.
Yeah. Why did he? I get it. They had that one match, and Hulk put him over, and he disappeared. Like, he didn't come back until after Warrior dropped the belt to Sergeant Slaughter, and that's when he beat Sergeant Slaughter for the belt. So he didn't come back until right before that. So Hulk wasn't even there. I guess
it was just Hogan had said, this is the kind of guy that, he was holding up Vince for money. And he said, this is the kind of guy we take out to the shed outside and just beat the shit out of him. Well, that was true, because if you had done that in the territories, the promoters were said, hit the road, Jack. We don't need you here.
Yeah, and you probably back in the territory days, wrestling was more like a mafia. You try to hold over a promoter, you'd probably be in the river somewhere.
Exactly. So you're lucky that you did this to Vince McMahon, who, again, I'm not a big Vince McMahon fan, but for fuck's sake, Vince actually handled it a lot better than I would have. I would have been like, okay, bye, see ya. Go fuck yourself.
Vince was like, I promoted this match, I promoted Warrior. I need to get him into the ring. I need to get the match in the ring.
And I see it that from that point.
Yeah, so
but then he owed him nothing after
that. In the ring. Yeah, so it was like the old promoter adage, get the match in the ring, and then you figure it out afterwards. So that was what his dad taught him, as a promoter. So it's like, get the match in the ring, and then we'll figure it out later. So that was the old promoter adage, like, get the match in the ring, then you, go from there.
The rest of it was just shit. So
yeah.
No thanks, Vince.
Yeah,
I don't go for Vince McMahon. I'll take it from Kurt Hennig, but I won't take it from you.
Vince. So yeah, before we go, like, people are pointing, and I said this at the time when Vince sold, is like, you're gonna miss him one day. You are going to miss him, especially when TKO starts fucking with WWE and starts doing the corporate, putting the advertisements in the ring and putting the advertisements all over the place and fucking with the product and booking the product themselves, which is what they're doing now. They're also
posts I shared in that group earlier today about.
Yeah. So yeah, and they're also apparently using AI to help book the shows for them.
Oh
Maybe
my
that's
god!
Of course they
yeah.
are.
Yeah, they kind of TKO kind of announced on their Twitter accounts like, hey, we're using AI to help book the product, and it's making the product better.
Nope.
Total
It's
bullshit.
making it shit.
Yeah, I mean, they're using AI to help book the product. I don't know what that means. Whether AI has more power than Triple H, and we know TKO has more power than Triple H. I'm not sure about this AI. So,
Well, it sounds like all they have to do is say,
Hmm.
"Sorry, Hunter, you're out. Bye. We have AI now." And I was just saying this to my dad. I said, if you use AI for everything, what they want us to do that. I'm sorry this has to
yeah,
get
they want
political,
it. Yeah,
but they want us relying on AI so we can't think for ourselves. So
they
AI will
want.
raise your kids. AI will be your therapist. AI will do this. They'll probably suck your dick and eat your pussy for you. And they'll do all that stuff. And then you'll have to be relying on AI and you won't think for yourself. You'll just be a walking zombie. Oh, I wonder what AI says today. If you need AI to help raise your kids, don't be a parent. All right? Just stay sterile.
Oh, before also, Cody's little buddy Ricky Saints debuted on the main roster too. So
Oh, God.
he got a job because he's Cody's buddy, just like
Of
Danhausen
course,
got a
just
job
like
because he's CM
Danhausen.
Punk's buddy. So he cut a promo on Cody. It was one of the worst promos I've ever seen. It was just he botched it. It was so bad. It's like he doesn't belong in WWE. I mean, he just doesn't. I mean, he was in NXT for a while. He was fine there, but
I wouldn't be
you put him on the
surprised,
main
Vince.
roster. We put him on the main roster. There was no pop, no reaction to him. He's shorter
He's
than
not
Danhausen.
AEW
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, he's
He's
shorter
not
than
in
Danhausen.
AEW
Yeah,
anymore.
he kind of looks out of place, and he really does. So we'll see what happens with him, what they do with him. But don't be surprised in next year's releases that he's gone. So let's see. All right, so let's get to clips now. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Give me a like, subscribe. Go over to the other platforms, which we're everywhere: Twitter, Kick,
You
Rumble,
saw the
whatever.
post where I said you play these two clips.
Yeah,
first.
yeah, I saw that. So yeah, so make sure you guys do all that. Where are we? Where? I'm gonna have to go there directly because they always change the format of Restream. Like I can't see. I don't, and I hate that because once I master it, it's like, oh, let's change it all again. So yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe. We'll be back in 2 weeks to review Backlash, and because we got to watch Backlash next Saturday. And
And my Sundays are filled up now.
Just stop watching. What's the point?
Well, because we have to. I mean, we're a pro wrestling talk show. We have to inform our audience.
I've said this before. I said it last week. I think if TKO puts the WWE title on a celebrity, I think I'm completely done. And we're gonna talk about old wrestling and
so David Arquette all over again.
Yes,
yeah,
it would be. Yes, exactly.
It would be, yeah, because it's straight up disrespectful to all
everyone
the
who
WWE
had
champions
those
before that.
Yeah,
and
well
the WWE
in the face
title
of everyone who had it,
and the
including
WWE
Bret Hart.
title. Yeah, the WWE title has a 60-year history going back to Bruno and Pedro Morales, Bob Backlund, Hogan, Macho Man, Brett, Flair, whether you like him or not, Austin, Rocky, Triple H. I have had my issues with his reign of terror, but Undertaker, Cena, Cody today, Roman Reigns, and everybody. I'm just throwing out names, but Randy Orton, Mick Foley, yeah, all those guys. It'd be totally disrespectful. So I'd be done at that point. And we're gonna talk about this old wrestling and talking about the Montreal Screwjob and the plane ride from hell, and that's what we're gonna do if they put
and
the
how
belt
they
on
fucked over Kurt Hennig.
Yeah,
and let Flair go. Flair got the light of his life, and they fucking blamed Kurt for it. And then Ric Flair had the audacity to literally blame Kurt Hennig for it. I was like, go fuck yourself, Flair.
Yeah, so make sure you guys give me that like and subscribe. We'll be on we're doing clips in the other platforms. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks for Pro Wrestling Talk. Have a nice weekend and rest of your week, and we're out of here. Now I gotta do it in the other channel before I forget. But yeah, you guys are still with us on the INN